What's going on, guys? It's Tony with Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always, and as you can clearly tell by the screen, we are going to talk about the bannings that were announced today, February 15th. You see, it's a little bit later in the day. Real quick, for those of you who are in any part of the country that's being hit by the snow, just be safe. I was pretty lucky tonight. Car got stuck in some snow, but we were close enough to walk home, literally on our street. So, you know, rough morning ahead, but fortunate that it wasn't worse than what it turned out to be. But today's February 15th, day after Valentine's Day. If you know the music that's playing, comment below. It's one of my favorite artists as a lead singer. But let's talk about bannings. That's what you guys are here for, right? So you see on the screen, we had a lot of action today. A lot of action, actually. Action Jackson's what we're gonna call WotC. Let's go ahead and just start with going down the list and talking about a few of these. First, we got Historic, which really just had two cards banned. Euro, no shocker there, and Omnath. I'm going to talk about Euro as its own entity a little bit later, so I'm going to skip over that. But some of these cards, like Omnath, yeah, they enter these formats, and Historic's kind of got a limited card pool to begin with. These cards are pretty rough. Although it'd be great if we had some kind of research and development, right? So I don't know. Let's jump on down to Pioneer. And for those of you who follow the channel, you know Pioneer is one of my personal favorite formats. Got to play it a lot with one of my absolute best friends and favorite people before this damn pandemic shut everything down. And I mean, I felt like we were both enjoying it. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting back out there, Nate. Let's talk about Pioneer, though. So, the first couple of cards I want to talk about is cards that help you grind your opponents. Didn't see these coming. Didn't really understand why Balustrade Spy and Undercity Informer were both cut. But it is what it is. Sorry, I turned the music down there. It is what it is. You know, you can see just by reading these cards, they're both very powerful. Both very powerful. This one specifically, I think Undercity Informer is probably the better of the two, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting move indeed. Teferi Time Raveler, I actually thought this was banned already. I mean, I haven't played much Pioneer because of the pandemic. So, I thought this was already banned in Pioneer. So, really no skin off my nose on that one. I do like this card overall, and I look forward to it being banned in more formats so that I can play it casually. Down here we have everyone's favorite Wilderness Reclamation, that damn enchantment that should have never been created. Yeah, Wilderness Reclamation. So as far as it goes with Pioneer, these two cards, Balustrade Spy and Undercity Informer, you can see why they're banned. Teferi I thought was already banned, and Wilderness Wreck, good for us, we got rid of that fucker. Modern. So, Modern was kind of interesting. I didn't think Modern had too many problems right now. I know that we're definitely not playing Paper Magic. So, a lot of this comes from online data. And what's interesting about Modern is that outside of Tybalt's Trickery, which, again, that's another card. I'll put that at the end with Euro. Those are the two cards that you kind of knew going into this were going to get banned. But the rest of this is interesting. So, Field of the Dead, this land. Another one of these examples where I just don't know what WotC is thinking. And shameless Tony plug, I'm getting ready to do a article series on Tumblr of Hold My Beer, is what I'm going to call it. Times when WotC really fucked up. This is one of those cards, I think. You know, if a card is banned in multiple formats, it means that they didn't do a good job testing it. That's always been my opinion. So there you go. Up next, Mystic Sanctuary. So Throne of Eldraine gave us some interesting cards. Mystic Sanctuary is getting banned because of how it's getting abused. Very interesting. Very interesting. Did not realize this card was an issue. Same with our next one, Simian Spirit Guide. I feel like this card has been around forever. I mean, just forever in competitive Magic scenes. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I looked at some of the deck listings before I hit record, and I didn't really see anything that made me that worried. It's an annoying card, but I don't know. And then Tybalt's Trickery and Euro. Alright, let's go down to Legacy, where I might be doing some content on Legacy in the very, very near future, so keep your eyes out for that. So with Snow Permanents in Kaldheim, Arkham's Astrobal, this fucking card, man. This fucking card. It definitely helps with your mana fixing. It's powerful. I mean, don't underestimate this card. This was one I was really interested in when I saw it on the list. It was Dreadhorde Arcanus. So this is one of those cards that, especially on Magic Arena, I've had a lot of fun with it. And you can do a lot of spell recursion with it. And then everyone's favorite bullshit Planeswalker, Oko Thief of Crowns, is on the list. You know, I'm going to be honest. If Legacy's banning you, it means that you're a problem. Just throwing that out there. And then Vintage, I couldn't give a fuck less about Vintage. I hate Vintage. Loris, the Dream Den, is back. And then they did a rules change for Cascade. I don't really care about that. Let's backtrack a little bit. Overall, I think that these are the right cards. And the reason that I say all these are okay is because I don't play all these formats at high enough of a ratio or enough games for me to be able to really decide that. There's a few cards on here, Euro, Tybalt's Trickery, Omnath, that are in Wilderness Reclamation, that are just very clearly issues. You know, Tybalt's Trickery and Euro, those are cards that I just don't think were thought out well. And it's hard to hold cards that aren't thought out well up and compare them in multiple standards, because the card wasn't thought out well. So it's not going to necessarily impact those formats. I don't want to say affect them well, but that's basically what it comes down to. It's going to fuck them up. So let's talk about those two cards in general, Euro and Tybalt's Trickery. Let's start with Euro. A lot of people are annoyed by this card, and I get it. I mean, Simic, I get the feeling that the people that play Magic, who create the game for WotC, really love Simic. I mean, really love Simic. Because they're always trying to push blue-green aggro. I mean, it's just crazy. And this card's no different. Now, it does have a little bit of the drawback with Escape that you need so many cards in your graveyard, but don't kid yourselves, guys. Euro offered mid-range and control decks. It offered them a way to, on turn 3, get a little life, draw a card, you know, just hold your ground a little bit against aggro. And at 3 mana, it's not incredibly bad in an aggro deck of its own. Now, I understand that unless it escapes, you have to sacrifice it, which is cute and all, but like, that doesn't hurt the card. That's why it's being banned, because it's so powerful. It gets around the fact that it has to be caster's escape cost to keep it on the field. It's still a powerful card. For 7 mana, you're getting 6 life, 2 card draw, 2 lands that you can put on the battlefield, and then a 6/6 creature. That's what you're getting. Now, again, 7 converted mana and 5 cards total, but that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that's a banger. So, Euro is you're gone. Let's talk about the card that everybody is just happy to see on the list, or starting to see on some lists, Tybalt's Trickery. If there was ever a card that you looked at and you thought, what the fuck, WotC, this has to be on that list. And it has to be top 3, top 4. In the modern era of Magic, it seems like every set has 2 or 3 really problematic cards. Just problematic, or in some cases, a problematic mechanic. Like Companion. But I find it just brilliantly stupid that this card was allowed to be created. And it's wrecked Modern. Now, I've seen various reports and statistics of different decks in different tournaments having anywhere from like 70 to 85% win rate. That can't happen. That's not healthy for the meta. And I don't know. Like, this is a card that really just kind of pisses me off with the way that it's warped so many things. Modern's the worst of the worst, obviously, but I think Historic and Pioneer, it's going to find a home there eventually. Time's going to just allow that to happen. Um, this won't be the only format this card gets banned in, and this is going to be the what the fuck card of the year so far. Way to go. We're not even through the first quarter of the year, and we've already got the what the fuck card, which I think Throne of Eldraine came out first quarter last year, and we had Oko as the what the fuck, so it fits. But these are two cards in Tybalt's Trickery and Euro Titan of Nature's Wrath that I just think they point to the bigger problem at hand, and that is that WotC is not testing the cards. They're trying to put bangers in the pack so they can sell them. And, you know, I've seen the conversation about, well, Euro's getting banned and it's getting put in a secret layer. Like, they had to do the banning first so they could sell the secret layer ethically. But if they did it the other way, we'd be just as annoyed. We'd be angrier and just as annoyed. So, yeah. Sorry, record was skipping. So we would be just as annoyed. I think that that's the lesser of two evils, but the other thing is, if you know that a card's going to be banned across many, many formats, such as Euro, why even put it in the secret layer? That's just me. It seems like a bad business move, but this is a company that's pretty famous for bad business moves, bad decisions, bad things like that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that they made the right decision? I think it's 14 cards across 5 formats, right? Something like that. That's a pretty big banning. I will point out something. Not a single card has been changed in Standard. I don't know if that means Standard's in a healthy place or if it's just so dead that no one's bitching anymore. But you will notice there is not a single card in here for Standard. That is impressive in itself, if you ask me. Maybe they figured something out with Standard. I don't know. But tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like the band? Do you hate them? What do you think about some of the cards they chose? I mean, if you're really focused on just one or two cards, I would say Euro and Tybalt's Trickery are the two big names for me. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a good move? Thank you so much, and just keep your eyes out for a bunch of new content always coming to you here. This is Tony K with Urban Girl Scout Media.